Tonight on NewsVision, federal freeze. The United States government is shut down. We will tell you why and how that might affect you. Plus, we'll take you to a birthday celebration for one of Miami's most prominent activists. It took place in a popular park that is named after him.
We see him as a perfect avatar for fearless journalism, for the importance of civic engagement.
And later on, Falling for You. We will bring you one love story that's cemented in University of Miami history.
I saw her from a distance and I was like, I need to get in that group.
All this and a lot more on tonight's show. It starts right now. Good evening and welcome to this week's episode of NewsVision. I'm Taryn Jacobs.
And I'm Johnny Mushton. Thank you for joining us. The federal government has officially shut down for the first time since December 2018 after Republicans and Democrats failed to find a solution to a bill which would have funded government services. Non-essential federal workers are staying home without them. Some government functions are on hold. Others continue with longer wait times and less customer services. Here is what the shutdown means for various government agencies. While the shutdown will lead to terminations, some essential employees will still get Social Security payments. That includes air traffic controllers and TSA workers, meaning flights will keep moving as usual for now. Veterans will also continue to get medical care through the Department of Veteran Affairs. The Department of Health and Human Services says the FDA will still respond to emergencies, but they'll be limited when it comes to routine inspections. And that has many experts worried, saying it could put the country's food supply in risk.
If this goes on for a couple of weeks, that there could be food safety outbreaks that couldn't be coped with. Significant problems could occur in the supply chain.
The shutdown will also delay new patients from joining clinical trials at the National Institutes of Health.
So if we're on deck for a clinical trial, that will stop.
The Department of Agriculture says nutrition programs will keep running, but only until the money runs out. Federal student loans will still be dispersed, and borrowers are still on the hook for payments. National parks will stay partially open, but that decision is getting pushback. Visitors say it's too dangerous without proper staff. And all this is happening while nearly 9,000 federal employees are being downsized. And if you were asking how could students be affected by the shutdown, for starters, if you are planning on flying anywhere, be aware that you will be facing much longer TSA lines and many flights might be delayed or canceled. Also, furloughed staff will not be able to assist you with any financial aid support whatsoever, putting those in need of federal student aid in jeopardy for the foreseeable future.
And speaking of shutdowns, one nonprofit organization operating in Key Biscayne is being forced to close. Lauren Tomac joins us at the Key Biscayne Nature Center to tell us more. Lauren, what have you found out?
Behind me is the Biscayne Nature Center that was founded by beloved environmentalist Marjorie Stoneman Douglas back in 1985. Over the past 40 years, the nonprofit that has run it has been dedicated to educating thousands of students in South Florida about various environmental issues. But for the nonprofit to remain open, the Miami-Dade Parks Department wants to handle all future fundraising responsibility. A proposed county budget is set to bring in $1 million in revenue from the center. But Long says this number is just simply laughable. And for now, the future of the center remains unclear. Reporting live from Key Biscayne, Lauren Tomac for UMTV.
Thank you, Lauren. And just down the road from the Biscayne Nature Center is the Cape Florida Lighthouse. It is the centerpiece of a park named after one famous Miami activist whose life was celebrated there this week. Madeline Darby attended the event.
It was a fitting celebration for one of Miami's best-known residents. On September 20th, dozens of journalists of all ages and other guests gathered at the historic Cape Florida Lighthouse on Key Biscayne for the first annual birthday celebration of William Calhoun, better known as Bill Baggs. Bill Baggs was the editor of the Miami News for 12 years until his death in 1969 at the age of 45. He campaigned for civil rights for African Americans during segregation and was an early opponent of the Vietnam War. Baggs was also a champion of conservation, helping protect the southern tip of Key Biscayne, now named the Bill Baggs Cape Florida State Park, where the event took place. He also believed strongly in the power of a free press to protect democracy, a principle passed on by his son Craig.
He'd be deeply concerned about local journalism today and the crisis we're facing. The decline in local journalism, in local news, is one of the greatest threats to our democracy. Without it, civic engagement drops, voters' turnout shrinks, and misinformation flourishes.
Inspired by Press Forward, which is a national initiative to revive local news, the event looked to the future of journalism, focusing on how to protect community reporting. That mission was carried forward by the Friends of Cape Florida, who organized the event.
We see him as a perfect avatar, if you want, for Press Forward, for fearless journalism, for the importance of civic engagement. And maybe not everyone agrees, but I believe that this is more important today than it's ever been.
The discussion continued in a panel called "What Would Bill Baggs Do?", during which leading editors, producers, and reporters shared their concerns and advice. The crowd even heard from Baggs himself, brought to life in a 3D hologram presentation.
Perhaps we can discuss this more in the future. Thank you.
In a night full of reflection and connection, the celebration stood as both a tribute to Baggs' lasting impact and a call to recommit to journalism's role in protecting freedom, justice, and the environment. For UMTV, I'm Madeline Darby.
And another beloved conservationist and activist, Dr. Jane Goodall, has died. Goodall changed the way the world looks at wildlife. She is remembered as a tireless advocate for the protection and restoration of our natural world. Goodall's fieldwork with chimpanzees included documentation of the primates' emotions and personality traits. She is also credited with changing the overall way scientists study animals. Goodall had been on a speaking tour in the United States when she died this week. She was 91 years old.
President Trump has confirmed on social media that the National Guard is in place in Portland, Oregon. More than 200 Oregon National Guard members were activated after Trump's order last week. Oregon's governor and city officials are suing over the move, arguing it is unlawful and unwarranted. They accuse the administration of using old protest footage to justify the action. Portland's police chief also says events on the ground don't match the national narrative described by the president.
No, they are not in place at this time. They're receiving some additional training. We believe they'll probably be deployed in the coming days, but they're not in place right now.
In a post on Truth Social last week, Trump wrote that many were hurt and even killed from the protests, calling the city of Portland, quote, a never-ending disaster and run like a third world country. However, no deaths or significant injuries have been reported by local enforcement. Despite that, Trump insists Portland is in crisis, comparing it to a third world country in a social media post.
We will take a short break now, but don't go anywhere because coming up next, think parking spots are just for cars? Well, think again. We'll tell you how one annual event gives parking spots new potential. And we'll take you live to UM's Love Bridge, where every brick tells a story. Stay with us.
For decades, I've taught you everything I know. How to safely build a fire. How to control the flames. What to do with hot coals. How to secure your chains. But I can only teach wildfire prevention. Only you can prevent wildfires.
Well, big game this weekend. Seminoles, Hurricanes, FSU, Miami. Taryn, are you excited about going up?
I'm so excited to go to Tallahassee, but the weather here has not been that great, so I'm really hoping it'll be a little bit better and no rain for this game day finally.
Well, very, very lucky for us. We have student meteorologist coming in soon. Ann Badowski is here to join us. Ann, what does the weather look like?
Well, we're going to be moving in as well as a trough that is going to be bringing some instability and some rainfall into the area, especially as we head through the rest of the weekend as well. The spot showers are going to be a little bit different than what we have been noticing. They are a little bit more widespread. We're usually used to those pop-up showers, but now they're going to be a lot more long-lasting and more widespread as we head through the weekend. Luckily, if you are going up to Tallahassee, you will have a little bit of break from that precipitation as well. Friday and Saturday, lower precipitation chances. As you're heading home on Sunday, though, it is a little unfortunate. You might be seeing those rain chances as you are coming back home. Back here in Miami, though, we have an area of potential development that we are keeping an eye on. There's only 10% chance of it developing over the next few days. What that does mean for us, though, is that we're going to be seeing a lot more rain and things like that instead of some potential hurricane activity instead. We do have an area out in the Atlantic that is having a 20% chance of developing over the next 7 days. This is good news, especially because we've had a little bit weird of a hurricane season. This is what we would typically be seeing for our hurricane season in terms of activity. We had a huge lull between September and October as well. Normally that's our peak season, but we haven't had any activity. Luckily it's been ramping up just a little bit. We still have a lot more of our hurricane season to go, especially here in South Florida. We tend to be a little bit above average for our hurricane activity in October as well. As for our 7-day, you can see we have some precipitation values that will be increasing over the weekend, but as you see, our temperatures are staying pretty consistent.
Thank you, Ann. The city of Coral Gables is home to more than 12,000 parking spaces. And as Wrigley Court explains, one event looks to transform those spaces into something that fosters community and inspires change.
For most of the year, this conversation wouldn't be happening. Or at least, it wouldn't happen here. Because for 364 days, it's just street parking. But on parking day, that all changes.
Typically we see parking spaces as just for cars. Well, this event highlights what you could do more as far as activating the space, turning it into a mini park, and being able to educate the community.
Parking Day is an annual event here in Coral Gables, and it aims to promote a more sustainable future.
It's important for us to think about not only our current generations, but our future generations as well. We're celebrating our 100-year anniversary as a city this year. What's the next 100 years of Coral Gables going to look like? What's our environment going to look like?
Stations like this one at Grow Coffee are set up all over Coral Gables, but Parking Day is an event that takes place across the entire country, and the people behind it think its impact stretches far beyond just one day.
I think there's a global movement now and a global recognition that, wow, there's a lot smarter ways of using our streets than for, exclusively for car storage and movement.
John Bella helped start Parking Day nearly 20 years ago in San Francisco. Since then, it's expanded across the United States, but he says the work is just getting started.
A lot of cities have 20 to 30, 40, 50% of their land area dedicated to vehicle movement and storage. It feels amazing on the one hand that this is a growing movement. It also feels like we have a long way to go.
Back in Coral Gables, Parking Day isn't just raising awareness. It's building community.
I love being outside. I love getting sun. So there's actually a super cute area to be able to socialize with new people that you've never met before.
We want to be able to engage our community. We want them to be part of our solutions. The city can do everything that we want to do on sustainability, but it's really a community effort.
Wrigley Court, UMTV.
From campus crushes to lifelong stories, one spot at the University of Miami campus has seen it all. Jaden Coe joins us live now from the historic Love Bridge to tell us more about it. Jaden, what makes it so special?
this bridge every single day, often without knowing the stories that are set in its bricks. This is a so-called love bridge, which was built by alumni Patty and Alan Herbert after they met on campus in their first week in the early 1950s. And now they've dedicated it to those who have found their love at the U. Like Patty and Alan, Martha and Leo Ramos also met during their first week, when Leo snuck into Martha's orientation group just for a chance to talk to her.
I saw her from the distance and I was like, I need to get in that group. So I immediately saw her. There wasn't a lot of time for friendship because it was made very, very obvious right from the beginning that there were sparks there.
5 years after they met, Leo proposed to Martha on this very bridge. Now, 18 years later, they still live in Miami with their 3 children and still represent what this bridge is all about.
For me, it's like a foundational friendship that we created and like spark that we've had always. So the foundation and like, I believe it or not, the university has a lot to do with it just because we met here. We're students who graduated from here, we work here. Like, it's just been a big integral part of our life and our family that we created.
The Wellness Center and the Love Bridge are not the only things connected to Patty and Alan Herbert on the UM campus. They contributed to at least 5 of the university's schools, the Low Art Museum and the Sylvester Comprehensive Cancer Center, among others.
They are givers, especially Patty had wonderful ideas. Alan would always say, Patty's ideas always cost me money. I think if you add it all up, they were probably close to $100 million of donation.
Although Patty Herbert passed away in 2020 and Ellen followed in May of this year, their legacy and the bridge continue to connect and inspire lives. The bricks placed here support the university's CHAMP program, a free health and fitness assessment for students. And while each brick finds its place, so does another lasting memory. Now, over 300 bricks lay in this bridge, and that gives it a lot more meaning than just words or names. Those are stories of celebration and gratitude and love that extends with every single step. Live for UMTV, I'm Jaden Cohey.
Thank you, Jaden. Still ahead on NewsVision, Tyreek Hill, a season-ending injury for one Miami Dolphins star player and what that means for the team. Along with that, recreational basketball players in Fort Lauderdale are coming together to save their courts. Details when NewsVision returns. Stay with us.
Hey, Kevin, you thinking about retirement?
Of course I've thought about it, but there's all this stuff in the way.
Oh, you're not kidding.
The house, the kids are going to college.
My new car.
Car? You bought a new car?
Oh, hey, you should meet my friend Avo. Avo's a retirement coach. He'll help get you started.
But what does Avo tell you to do?
You don't know? Focus on your future. Your goals can still be met.
But how?
Target your tomorrow and use the Avo bet.
You sing?
Not really. A is for taking action. Start off with a plan.
You built these letters?
Yep. V is for variety. There's so many ways you can.
I follow you.
Come on. O's for optimize your savings.
Let Avo lead the way.
Visit aceyourretirement.org today.
Nice sign.
Thanks, I made it myself.
Cool.
Welcome to sports. I'm Shea McDonald. While Miami residents didn't have Hurricanes football to watch with the Canes in their bye week, Miami Dolphins had a primetime Monday night showdown against the Jets that went down to the wire. So let's head to Hard Rock Stadium for the highlights. It's tank bowl, everybody. 0-3 Dolphins, 0-3 Jets, and the Tua Tagovailoa drop back in the pocket, lobbing him up, and it's Darren Waller, out of retirement, traded to the Dolphins, and he's making a play on Sauce Gardner for his first touchdown with the team. And it's 2 touchdowns on the day for Darren Waller. Welcome back to the NFL, making big plays for the Miami Dolphins. Now it's Justin Fields scrambling around in the pocket. He's going to find a lane going down the left sideline. It's Justin Fields. He's going to find a block, then a cut inside, cut back outside, cut back inside, and that's a touchdown. 1-score game with the Jets. Dolphins tossing this one out to Devon Achane. He's going to cut back, cut inside, avoid a tackler, and touchdown. One last play for the Jets. A last gas is Justin Fields lobbing it up and to Garrett Wilson and on his head. But Jets lose 21-27. Dolphins win. Dolphins clinch their first win of the season, but they suffered a major loss. One of their best players gone for the year. Star receiver Tyreek Hill is out after a gruesome knee injury, tearing his ACL and dislocating his left knee. Hill already underwent surgery, and his agent said he should be ready by 2026. The Dolphins will next head to Charlotte to play the Carolina Panthers, and they'll need receiver Jalen Waddle and running back Devon Achane to fill the void of the future Hall of Famer. If you're driving on I-95, you might have noticed a new mural on the side of the highway. That mural commemorates 100 years of Miami Hurricanes football. Some of the highlights include the year UM won its first national championship, a 1989 Sugar Bowl victory over the Alabama Crimson Tide, and the 2001 undefeated season represented by the fan holding up the U in the center. Five artists worked tirelessly to put together the mural, 3 total weeks to create the piece, but it was defaced when someone painted the people's teeth yellow. The artists are expected to fix that, and the mural will remain on display for the foreseeable future, until another artist decides to paint over it. With a week of rest, the Hurricanes head into their biggest challenge of the season, going into Tallahassee for a ranked showdown against the Florida State Seminoles. This is Miami's first road game, and it will be in a tough environment in Doak Campbell Stadium. The Seminoles are looking to bounce back, though. After a 46-38 upset loss against the University of Virginia, it'll be a tough matchup for Miami, so we have to show you how Miami can win this one. Let's take it to the keys to the game. First off, it's going to be to pound the rock. FSU let up 200 yards on the ground against Virginia. Miami's averaging 180. Got to be a big game for Mark Fletcher. Next up, get ready to run. QB Tommy Castellanos is dangerous outside the pocket. Ruben, show why you're a Heisman candidate. Lastly, eye on the ball. Block out the noise at Doak Campbell Stadium. Kickoff is 7:30 p.m. on ABC. Whether it's for a team, a player, or a game, sports always find a way to bring a community together. Well, in Fort Lauderdale, a community has come together over where the game is played, and I got a chance to step inside the paint. Fort Lauderdale resident Emmanuel Wint is a basketball influencer, also known as Hezzy Plus. And since moving to this South Florida area 3 years ago, he's had one go-to spot to play ball.
If I had to imagine how heaven would be like playing basketball, this atmosphere, definitely fits the description.
Hezzy Plus is referring to these basketball courts right by the beach in Fort Lauderdale City Park that have stood for over 60 years. And over that time, they've created a passionate and dedicated community.
Just like, different type of people that come here to play. So when I come here, it's just to have a peace of mind, have fun, congregate with people, and the vibes is always good.
Now, every day people come out to these Fort Lauderdale basketball courts to shoot some hoops and have some fun. But today, people came out for a special purpose, to save them. In January of 2024, Fort Lauderdale officials approved a $2 billion development from resort company Bahia Mar on taxpayer-owned land across the street from the park. Part of that deal, the installation of pickleball courts right where the basketball courts sit. In response, the community has come together with a simple message: save our courts.
The sadness that you can feel around this neighborhood, this community right here. Seeing it, we knew we had to take charge and we had to do something about it.
Oz is a member of the Fort Lauderdale Beach Ballers, a local group that has drawn attention to the issue, hosting events and starting a petition that has been signed by more than 8,500 people so far. And the city has just started to take notice. The city has since pledged to put new courts right down the road. In my interview with City Commissioner Steve Glassman, he said, quote, "I see it as a win-win," speaking of how the city will now have both types of courts as well as improved amenities across the beach. But while officials say they are committed to try and build the courts with several locations in their sites, locals seem skeptical on whether they will keep that promise.
At the end of the day, it's most likely not going to be able to happen because the layouts haven't been planned out, and we did our research ourselves, and we know that it's kind of impossible to do.
The city's current plan is to make the conversion from basketball to pickleball courts by as early as January 2026. Again, speaking with Glassman, I found it's important to note that there is no current plans to make these parks or the beach privatized. But with time ticking down and no confirmed spot, the city is at risk of losing a basketball court, but more importantly, history and a community.
This is heritage right here. You've had people play Dylan and Healy and Boyd Anderson that go up to college in the NBA. On these courts right here.
Yeah.
Up here tonight from Hollywood. Right here.
And don't move this court, please. Can I get the camera on this? It's like, don't take this away, because basketball saved a lot of lives.
The courts are still going strong as the Fort Lauderdale Beach Ballers and other groups have come together to keep the courts. You can find the petition at FLL Beach Ballers on Instagram. And that's all for sports.
Thank you, Shay. And ahead on NewsVision, we will tell you how one UM student organization is breaking barriers and creating lifelong friendships. Stay with us.
Kids start vaping. And I can't let this happen to my kid. Of course, it's awkward to talk to your kids about the dangers of vaping. Hey, bestie, how's sketches, vaping? It's hard to get their attention. Ready? Go. Yes, look at that. You didn't turn yours over. So if you want to talk to your kids about the dangers of vaping, you have to get it trending. Right, Backpack Kid?
Let's do it.
First, invite your kid to do the vape talk. Let's try this. All right.
Why is he here?
Yeah, I gotta get it trending, honey.
Come on.
To the left. To the right. Let's go.
Oh, honey, can we talk?
Yeah, what's up?
I see a lot of your friends vaping.
Visit talkaboutvaping.org for tips on when and how to have the
It began with one unexpected meeting and turned into a connection that changed lives. Kayla Singer has the story.
At the University of Miami, friendship can start anywhere, at campus events, maybe in math class. But senior Lauren Kobernick met her closest friend a little differently.
Sometimes it takes me a bit to come out of my shell because I can be a little introverted sometimes, but with Lisa, it always felt easy, and it's always been easy talking to her and wanting to hang out with her.
At first glance, it looks like any other college friendship. But look a little closer, and there's more to this story.
She makes me laugh and make me happy.
What started as a simple introduction freshman year has turned into something special. Lauren met Lisa through Best Buddies. The program connects college students with people who have intellectual and developmental disabilities. Best Buddies is one of the most well-known organizations on campus, but most people don't realize just how close these friendships really are.
Then we go fun day, we go have a great time, we hold the bunny, animals. We had a great time, we play games and stuff like that.
Chapter President Amelia Snelt says that impact is exactly what Best Buddies is about.
And I think that kind of spending this time and forming these deeper connections with our buddies has really just reminded me at the end of the day that yes, we do have differences. You're a human being, you're a great friend, and I'm just going to treat you like that.
And even though Lauren will graduate this spring, their friendship isn't going anywhere.
Just being able to be there for her and provide her a sense of belonging, and for her to always know how to make me feel better and brighten my day, I know that we're going to be friends for the rest of our lives.
To Lisa, inclusion means everything.
Because I like my best buddy because they good friends I had in here.
The title Best Buddies says it all. For UMTV, I'm Kayla Singer.
And finally tonight, an unbelievable update regarding a story we covered right here on NewsVision just last week. Fat Bear Week has come to a close, and the internet has decided that the heavyweight champion will be a bear by the name of Chunk 32. The fat, fuzzy favorite clawed his way to the top by eating an unbearable amount of food. He ate so much, in fact, he barely left any room for the competition. All in all, it was a grisly matchup, but voters paused at nothing to vote for the berry fattest behemoth at Katmai National Park. Now, I'm happy for Chunk 32, but if you ask me, I think that 128 Grazer had it this year. He was my favorite bear.
Johnny, but he won last year, and Chunk has been trying to win for the past 2 years, and he finally got it.
I love the drive, I love the passion, but of course we have Shane McDonald from
Yeah,
sports.
you know, I think when you judge a bear, it's a lot like judging sports. A lot of it goes into it, and you know, I think it's a really fun competition. Wrong way, but it was really tough. Taryn, which was your favorite bear?
Johnny, my favorite, you're not Johnny, you're
I'm
Shay.
Shay.
My favorite bear is the one who ran through the grocery store in Arizona last week.
Well, he's getting ready for next season. You got to respect it, eating as much as possible, but
it's prep.
Chunk 32 with the broken jaw winning it, I mean, that's inspirational.
It's fighting through adversity, and that's really what it's
That's
all about.
like Jordan's flu game,
Exactly.
but for bears, essentially.
Well, guys, I cannot wait for Fat Bear Week next year, but that's all the time we have for this week's edition of NewsVision. Thank you for joining us.
We will see you back here for another episode next week, same time, same place. Have a great night.